I'm ABC 15 data analyst Garrett Archer, and I'm taking you inside the numbers on the recent decision by the National Institute for Health to cap indirect cost funding for federal grants at 15%. This decision, by the way, being challenged in court by several state attorney generals, including our own. So let's start with what is an indirect cost. Say you are a medical researcher and you receive a $100,000 grant from the National Institute of Health to study the effect that watching local news has on increasing your IQ. Well, that money goes to fund your project directly, but the sponsoring hospital or university would also get about $50,000 on top of that grant to maintain their facilities. That's an indirect cost and what the government is looking at capping. And NIH grants are a big deal. The AAMC and the NIH itself cite examples of the COVID-19 vaccine and antiviral Paxlovid treatments, cancer immunotherapy and gene editing, artificial heart valves, and blood tests for Alzheimer's. Drilling down to Arizona, right now, $474 million in grant funding. We sifted through them and found that age-related diseases receive the most money, about $50 million, but the list also includes things like mental health, breast cancer, and heart failure. So the largest sponsoring institution here by far, with 2 teaching hospitals and an almost 60-year-old medical school, it's of course the University of Arizona, $164 million in grant funding, almost $60 million in indirect costs. Second is ASU, then St. Joseph's, Mayo Clinic, City of Hope, and then NAU. We did an estimate on how much all of these sponsoring organizations in Arizona would lose with a 15% indirect cost cap. And statewide, it was about $61 million in total, over half of that coming from U of A alone. And looking at 3 very recently funded grants, just to give you an idea what these things are. 2 of them are U of A studies, one looking at colon cancer screening in Hispanic communities, and another treating asthma in preschoolers. The third grant, much larger and also a higher indirect cost, is sponsored by Banner and is studying if amyloid proteins actually do contribute to Alzheimer's. With a look inside the numbers, I'm Garrett Archer, ABC 15, Arizona.